Okay. We're live.
We're live! Sennheiser.
Yeah. Okay, what's up? We're back. We're talking about some putting now. We've had a couple of questions on the tweet box.
Yeah.
Regarding this tweet box. regarding how do you practice efficiently with putting, or like what, I need a mental edge to be a better putter. What should I be doing? And now we have this. So
yes.
What is this?
Round the world, baby.
Okay, so I read a really cool book. Some people might think that it's cool.
Mathematicians think it's cool.
Yeah, very cool. His name is Mark Brody. He's a stats professor from Columbia University. He just did this on his free time. If you guys watch golf, when they talk about strokes gained putting or strokes gained driving, this guy did all the numbers on it. And what you need to understand about maybe a more efficient way to spend your time putting, because we all know that your time is limited, everyone's is that you can't really get that much better at like especially one, but 2, 3, and 4 feet. Okay, those are the putts that when Sean plays, when I play, when you guys play, they really sting, and you really emotionally remember them.
Yep.
Because
they were so close.
They're
so close yet so far.
You should have made them, right?
I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
But you could spend all summer trying to get better at them, and to be totally honest, even if you got better, it would be like 0.25%.
That's it.
Okay, your real opportunity, especially like scratch golf, anywhere from a scratch golfer to a 95 shooter, your real opportunity to get better is probably
5 to 15?
Yeah, 5 to 15 for sure, and especially like starting at 6 feet. Like there's a big jump from 5 feet to 6 feet. And it's all in his book. His book's Every Shot Counts if you're interested in it. So something like this is totally in line with the way Sean looks at the world.
Yeah.
Because it's what, very random?
We see eyeball to eyeball in this one, don't we?
That's fair. So it's very random, and what I mean by that is a lot of people, just like on the range, right, Sean, would like...
That's it.
They would have a whole bunch of balls lined up right here.
That's it.
And they would just
put a needle, put a your needles. Right? Do some your knitting needles, and
they would just sit there and they'd smash putt after putt after putt after putt.
Blah blah blah.
And why is that not really good for performance?
Well, you don't really have knitting needles on the golf course, and it's every putt you make is a one of a kind, anywhere, and it actually starts one of a kind from upstairs. They actually put a golf professional and an amateur under a PET scan, and they noticed that they made the same putt over and over again within 10 feet, and it was at slightly different parts of the brain lining up every time. So it's a one of a kind. It's a snowflake. So you have to treat every putt like it's one of a kind. So you put a bunch of balls around the hole, try to find a hole that has a little bit of a break in it, and approach each putt the same way you would when you're on the golf course.
Yep.
So if I'm looking at this putt right here, local knowledge, it's a pretty straight putt. What I like to do is once I set up for the putt, so I say, okay, this feels like I'm going way too far left. Still left edge. This feels like I'm going in the proper direction. So if I let momentum roll this putt, it feels like the putt's going to roll in. I can see the ball rolling over the front edge of the hole into the bottom of the hole. It is now out of my control.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yeah, just do it.
So now I'm just going to let momentum roll the putt. If it goes in, it goes in. It doesn't, it doesn't.
Nice. And if you stood right here, it would be a different putt with a different break. You have to go through the whole process again to get acclimated, right?
Exactly.
Now, you could also do the same thing. So we're going to encourage you to do it from 5, 10, 15 feet, anywhere in there, and just manage your expectations. Pick up the book if you want, and you could benchmark yourself versus people of your handicap, or if you wanted to go all crazy, okay, I'm going to try and beat the tour average.
I treat the stats as that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I don't go hell-bent on it, because the reality is once you're over your putt and it's out of your control and you're letting it go, it's not you putting, it's actually momentum. It's just the weight of your arms just sending the ball there. So when it comes to practicing your putting stroke, when you're performing this task and you're just allowing your arm club unit to swing freely, it's going to track its own arc. Your anatomy is already built to perform that task. So it's I think the stats in my view, and this is just my view, right? It's just as a motivation. It's a great motivational tool.
Of course, 100%. So this exercise, it's probably, if you watch a lot of golf, who made it famous was Phil Mickelson, but Phil Mickelson got it from a dude named Jackie Burke. And I met Jackie Burke, and I read his book, and when he talked about doing this, he bet Phil Mickelson that he couldn't make 100 in a row, and if he did, he'd buy him the best steak dinner in Houston at Champions. Pretty good guy. Like, Jackie Burke was a hustler.
Did it work?
So Phil spent 2 hours out on the putting green. He couldn't do it. And at the end, what Jackie said to Phil is ultimately the same thing we said to you, is that unless you appreciate the artwork and the intricacies of every putt and see it as a shot, you're never going to be a better putter.
Fantastic.
Look at that. We should close on that.
Sure.
Okay. Come on back. We're going to talk more about putting.
Poetry in motion right here, folks.